So, hi there, hi everybody. I have a stomachache again and I'm sleepy as fuck, but I decided to take you with me. I was trying to find my nether portal for one of the houses that I had made and I can't find it anymore. And I was looking around. I wasn't gonna look forever and ever. That's my main portal, by the way. I wasn't gonna do that forever and ever, as I said, but I wanted to do it for about, I don't know, like a half an hour. I was searching the night. I wanted to sleep and I didn't sleep when I wanted to. I fell asleep later because I am so like I've stuck. I wanna find my house. Like I've made, like I'm visiting villages and I'm leaving them pretty much. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm building houses as I go. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I can't find one of the houses that I built. And I can't find, it's in another village, and I can't find also another, like, savannah, I think so, or desert, I'm not quite sure, um, village that I had marked as my fourth village I found on the game. I can't find it. That's a pity, isn't it? I've built some shits around and I really wanted to see it again. That's my problem. I'm trying to remember if it was like a plain village. I think it was a savannah village, now that I'm thinking of it. I think it was a savannah village. I can't find it, that's a problem. So I'm gonna try. I found a video that I watched today when I was playing the game. I was watching this video by Sarah, R. Lilith and Hecate, mother and daughter. I asked them in a reading, so because I can supervise is the other word in these matters, I said so that it will keep me awake. And by the way, here is my Pepsi. I have drunk it. I only have a tiny bit of it. I'm not gonna refill because I drank half a bottle, not half a half a cup for my stomach. I'm not gonna drink more because too much is not good either. So yeah, I'm gonna try to find the village. I'm gonna take you with me. If I can't find the village, I'm gonna continue Star Wars, just to let you know, another day, maybe tomorrow. I really wanna find the village, and I thought maybe take you with me, as I am searching on Nether, and because I heard Sarah's video and I have problems with a lot of the things that she says in terms of understanding. So I make myself clear here. I have no problem with a woman. I am explaining like professionally. She says some things that are incompatible with a standard like a pagan doctrine or what Satan is teaching. And Sarah, if you ever watch my video, what is that? Oh, it's a dot. If you ever watch my video, Sarah, I don't mind if you love the devil. I am trying to correct your understanding of the devil. If you wanna love him, go for it. I actually know the guy. I'm gonna make this disclaimer here because, like she's a real person. She's not like, like an AI figure or anything. She's a real woman. Okay, some people don't understand that, like that's what I'm saying when I'm speaking about Andrew Z. That's what I mean. Like there are people out there who don't understand that people have beliefs, people have backgrounds, people have their customs, people have their own personality, and you can't just out of nowhere and out of thin air start saying bullshit just because it fits your agenda, whatever that agenda is. Woke agenda, a sleeping agenda. My father is laughing. You can't just do that. it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And that's why I'm making the disclaimer here for her, in case she ever visits my channel and she sees me. I don't want her to think for a minute like, okay, another Christian who says I believe in Satan. That's why I'm doing this disclaimer. Sarah, if you ever watch my video, I know the guy, okay? I know him better than you do. You have said in a video you met Hecate or Lilith, I don't remember which deity. You said you met her 24 years old. Sarah, I am 24 years old and I know this person 20 years. So allow me to speak about who he is, and don't think like weird stuff about me. I'm not like one of the other people who like just spread bullshit to make other people feel miserable. That's what I mean. So are you gonna hear again the narrative? If you ever listen to me, this woman is another person who knew Hecate or whatever you wanna call her, and now she's trashing her. No, I'm not. I'm saying the truth about who he is. I know him as a guy, personally speaking. I know him as a guy. Satan is his name. If you ask me, do you worship Satan? Your worship, Sarah, and everybody doesn't come from your words and your ritual. It comes from your heart. You can worship my God, Yahweh, with your spirit, with your words, your words. You might say, I love Jesus. And your actions show actively that you actually worship Satan. So, what's the point of saying that? Therefore, that's what I mean. So, on the flip side, you might say, I worship Satan, and actually your heart worships Yahweh. So, my father is gonna receive this as a true worship. And I'm putting another parenthesis in my parenthesis here. My father doesn't have a hell. Hell is a pagan concept that prevailed in Christianity in the first centuries, and it shouldn't. It's quite bad. So it's quite bad that it did. That's what I mean. I've lost myself here entirely. Fuck my life. Okay, I will try to find myself again. In the meantime, I just wanted to say here, for not only for Sarah but for everybody, morality exists in both Yahweh and Satan. Satan in the Bible was a guy, I'm trying to say it as like how's that called, easily digestible as possible. So in the Bible we read about a figure named Satan, okay, and that guy is a guy who rebelled against God. Why? Because he wanted to be worshipped as God. He wanted to take the throne of God. What does this mean in a practical sense? Not to wear a crown like we are in Lord of the Rings, not like that. It means that this guy wanted to assume the form of another person, and that person happens to be God. So is this good? No, it's not. Because you have to understand, you might think you know Yahweh, in reality you know Satan. Why is this problematic? Not because you know Satan. If you ask me, like, is this the worst thing that you know Satan? No, I don't think so. The worst thing is that you wake up one morning like I did and you are like, where is my father? And you wanna have an answer in that question, where's my real father? I met another guy. He is part of the family, of course, but he's not actually my father. And I wanna see who is my real father right now, because I was deceived. Okay, so my father says this is devastating. That's what I mean. So without further ado, what I mean here is very specific, not only for you, Sarah, for everybody that watches this video. my point is not to trash Satan. I actually have respect for the guy. He was a presence in my life when I had no friends. He was a friend in his own way, and that would be controversial for Christians, but I don't give a shit about that. When I didn't have anybody to have company, I had this dude who is not a very nice person. And I'm saying this because Sarah always says Hecate is an amazing woman. Sarah, admit to yourself she's not a really amazing woman. Yes, she has given you stuff and she also gave me. And if you think I am ungrateful for saying she's evil, no, I'm not. I acknowledge that Zeus, Satan, he was a friend in need when I didn't have any friends at school. I was alone, I was bullied. Okay, you Sarah also said you had issues growing up, and I sympathize with you in terms like you had like your sexuality to deal with. You were like a bisexual woman. I happen to be an asexual woman, so I understand you how it is to feel alone. That's what I mean. I get that. I seriously do. The problem is not that. The problem is that she is lying to you about who she is. And if you understand what I mean, I'm not telling you stop talking to him at all in the sense of fellowship. If you like that, I know that will sound controversial. I'm not saying shut your door to him. I actually have forgiven him for what he has done. Like in my heart, I am like, I forgive you. I keep whatever good memories we didn't have because, like, they are not exactly good memories. They are bittersweet, like everything I did with this guy. Bittersweet. Okay. He likes to make you feel sorrow. He likes to make you feel bitter. He makes you feel like bitterness, sorrow. What else? What else? Dark emotions like shame, guilt. He does that. He does that a lot. So I don't have good memories in terms of this. I don't. But at the same time, do I remember somebody keeping me company? My father says this is devastating. Do I remember somebody keeping me company when I had nobody to keep me company? Yeah, I remember Satan. So if you ask me, Sarah, do I hate him? No, I don't. I have been in the moments and I'm gonna be vulnerable and true because I don't mind. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose, okay? So, we have this portal there and we have this there here as well. Okay, let's try this. So, I have been in some moments in my life when I remember some stuff that I experienced with him, some good, some bad emotions, and I hated him for a period of my life, and I hated him very much, and I was very angry, and I was speaking very harshly about him to Yahweh. My father says, "Thank you for being so vulnerable on the internet." It's okay. It's okay. I just want to make the difference with the other Christians because I said I'm gonna say stuff about Sarah and I don't want to make her feel that I am trashing her deity. I'm not doing that. I'm just explaining theology in the best manner that I have. Okay. So, I know that you love her as I was saying, but I have very bad memories with him. He's a guy. Welcome to reality. It's one of the lies that he says. I suppose, I don't know, I didn't meet him as a woman. I met him as Yahweh. So, yeah, I cannot really help you in very like not like help you at all, but he didn't really come to me saying I am a woman. He came and said I am Yahweh. So yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. But what I'm trying to say here is, so that's not the village that I'm looking for, right? No. What I'm trying to say is I hated him for a period of my life very much. Like I want him to be damned forever, and my father never trust talked him. Like he told me what I experienced with this person, but he never accused him as Satan taught me to accuse everybody around me pretty much, and I never mimicked him. I never did what he wanted me to do with people. I always kept my distance into this. Okay, and I said I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. So there were moments in my life that I seriously felt inside of me I hate this person with all my being, but now lately I have softened my approach, and now I say I pity him. I want him to receive mercy. I have love and respect for him because he was there for me, as I said, and I want to acknowledge that for my sake, not his, pretty much. But yeah, when I had nobody, I had his books, the like Plato, like I had the Republic, I had Protagoras, I had Iliad, Odyssey. I don't like these books. I don't like these books. But I remember a person giving me books to read, him, and like a person who would teach me morality, moral code through them, and I learned how to respect the dead, for example, the dead people. That's something that Yahweh is not teaching. Yahweh is teaching to respect only the living people, not the dead. My father is more correct than Satan, obviously, because you can't say you care about a dead person when they were alive. You didn't give a fuck about them. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. So as I was saying, I have, despite our ups and downs, that's what I'm saying, have a respect for the person who, even if that wasn't his exact intention, he was there for me, okay, and gave me like a tragedy to read, pretty much. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So if you recognize that who he is, Sarah, I'm not saying start hating him. No, no. I'm not gonna do that. I'm never gonna do that. Why? Because for me, hating is not an emotion you receive from Yahweh. I have received the hate emotion from Satan. He wants you to hate people he perceives as enemies. He wants you to hate people who have a different ideology than him, who have a different understanding than him. He has this human emotional depth, which is not bad because he's a creature, but it is very bad because that's why it becomes bad, because he pretends to be Yahweh. That's why it's bad. He's not a random creature saying like I want to, like, I went here. I wanna see if there is a savannah village around. So allow me to see if there is a savannah village around, and I'm gonna continue. So he didn't exactly come and say, look, I'm making a judgment. I'm also flawed, but also this person is flawed. No, you have him judging as if he's a deity, and that's problematic. That's absolutely problematic. I can say more things about him that come from the Bible, but nobody will understand apart from Christians, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so what I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna put the coordinates in case I find another house. Okay, 163 and 1714. So, as I was saying, that's what is bad with this person. But apart from that, I can't also deny the fact that in a very dark period of my life, he was there. Despite his bullshit, he was there. So, Sarah, you say all the time she's a nurturing mother, she is a good person, she's this and that. Acknowledge inside of you, that's what I would say, that she is there for you. She has stood as a mother, she has taught you stuff that are good material, like don't steal, don't kill. These are things that he teaches. But at the same time, acknowledge that he's actually a bad person and you shouldn't be around him, like deep down. But that doesn't disqualify that he was there. You can keep both under the same room. You don't have to say only the one and disregard the other. You don't have to. Because you say, Sarah, all the time in your videos, even the gods learn and they evolve. Okay, if they evolve, then acknowledge that Hecate has a very bad attitude and she has to repent at some point, and she has to come into terms with the reality that she is proud, that she is stealing an identity. Yes, she has some good qualities. Everybody has on this planet, even the worst of us has good qualities, including him. But that doesn't make him a nice person on the long run. He's actually a very harmful person and you shouldn't be around him if you think it about it. But just because you know him, yeah, that doesn't mean stop talking to him entirely, in the sense hate him. If you wanna love him inside of you like I do, do it. But don't worship him as I did because he's lying. I'm not saying that to say Yahweh is God, because he doesn't need me to affirm his divinity. But because we speak about Satan, if you are like, okay, but I love this guy, okay, chat with him. That's what I will teach as a teacher. Chat with him, but don't have him as a deity. If you love him so much as a person, you can chat. I also chat with my ex, for example. How I'm posting, he reads. I have issues with my ex. We have to settle our issues. He has done what I would call sins against me. But that doesn't make me stop talking to him. But I acknowledge that he's sinful. I acknowledge that he needs to repent. I acknowledge. So if you seriously love this person, okay, keep him in your life if that's your problem. That's what I mean. But don't regard him as a deity at the same time. And I'm not saying I keep him in my life. I actually didn't want to have discussions with him. Why? Because whenever he talks to me, he wants me to believe bullshit about my ex. That he's gay, that he had many exes, that this and that. He's always trying to trick me. And I always say, it's okay, don't get mad with him, you don't have to be mad with him, that's what I'm always saying to myself. But you can't really be with this person in this lifetime. That's what I will say. Like, if you ask me, I can't be as a friend with this person in this lifetime with these qualities that he has as a person at the moment. I'm speaking about Satan, because he is causing me toxic emotions. So I have to stay a little bit away from him so he repents, and then we can actually be friends. And if you're like, Helga, why you use Satan? I'm using this for my ex, I'm using this for everybody. Do you love a person? Stay away from them for a little bit until they realize they have issues they have to fix, that they have sinned against you, and then resume the relationship. And I'm not saying shut the door. I'm not gonna say that, because my father didn't teach me all these years to shut people out of my life. He taught me to have compassion, that there is one God, himself, and I have to have compassion. And that's what I have with this person. That's what I'm saying. And with everybody. So I wanna find the other village now. That's my problem. So I will try this, and if I can't find it, I will yeah, I'm gonna play just build in the other house. That's what I mean. So the coordinates, you have to translate them, change them pretty much to nether, which is multiplied by 8. So we have 2968, 2968. Yep, 648, 648. So we have 347181. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. I learned from my father to respect everybody, and that's why I say I have this person in my heart. And I asked my father not so long ago, I want him to repent, I want him to be forgiven. And if you learn my father deeply, as I do, you start questioning not the Bible, because I have read many people saying I learned spirits and I questioned the Bible. I learned both Satan and Yahweh, and what I have to say is that the Bible makes more sense since I did. That I understand better the like how's that called, the attributes of both God and Satan. It makes more sense to me right now. Okay. So what I realized while I became friends with Yahweh is that the more I learn him, all the more I am astonished by his kindness, and he makes me question every Bible verse that I have read if I know exactly what it means. So I know him, he says something that astonishes me to the bone, and then I am like with myself, do I even know what this verse actually means? Because my father seems better than what I thought he is, so now I have to learn again to read the Bible. I didn't know how to read it. So this is why I asked him, please forgive this person, and he told me he wants to forgive everybody, but everybody will pay the consequences of their actions. So that doesn't mean that the sinners will go unpunished. No. It says that they will be punished, but in the correct moment. And the correct amount, however much you judged, because Satan judges everybody around him, you will be judged as well. But my father doesn't want to destroy anybody. That's the reading that I have done of the Bible lately with him, and that's why I say I read the Bible. Have I really understood what my father says? Because my father, that's what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna put Sarah. My father had people questioning him. What does this man mean when he says we're gonna eat his flesh, drink his blood? They thought that Jesus was saying he was a cannibal. They didn't understand that Jesus was speaking about the Holy Communion, as the like how's that called? The Catholics say, and the Orthodox. They didn't get it. Nobody did. They couldn't perceive in their heads that this person actually means he's going to sacrifice himself for humanity. They didn't get it. And okay, so this married, that's wholesome. I'm gonna leave them alone. So that's why I did this prophecy. That's why when I read the prophecies, I understood better what they mean, because I made that prayer to my dad. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the house that I was building because I can't find the house. I searched enough today. Okay. So as I was saying, if you wanna say, Sarah, if you ever hear me, that's what I said. If you wanna have this person in your life in the long run, acknowledge they are bullshitting everybody. He is bullshitting. I'm gonna say he's bullshitting everybody. He needs to repent. He can't go around tricking people. You said it yourself that Hecate catfished you. You thought that Trivia was another person. I knew that she's Hecate because I am a Mediterranean and I know that Trivia in the Latin, the Roman pagan pantheon was actually Hecate. I know that. You didn't. He didn't tell you though. He tricked you. And I can't ignore that and say it's okay because it's not really okay. It's not okay. It's never okay to lie to people, especially when they love you. It's even worse. Like I can understand a creature lying to somebody because they're trying to protect themselves and shit, but lie to somebody that says all the time to videos, I love you. That's not very nice. That's not very nice at all. That's what I mean. You get what I mean? So, to recapitulate, if you want this person in the long run in your life, Sarah, acknowledge that they are bullshitting you and they shouldn't. If they loved you, they wouldn't lie to you. That's what I'm saying. So, is Hecate a nice person? No. Do I know her? Yes. As Yahweh, I know her. Do I want her to repent? Absolutely. Do I have good memories with her? Partly. She wasn't nice. As I said, she's very harsh person, very, very harsh person, but at the same time, I had nobody else, and I gave this to him. So the one doesn't cancel the other. This is what I said. This is what I want all of you to take from this video. The one doesn't cancel the other. That's my philosophy. You can say this person was there for me and at the same time say they need to work on themselves. Their personality stinks. And it shouldn't stink like that, but it does. You have to be able to say both. So that's my short and not so short disclaimer. Half an hour I'm speaking for Sarah, that divination witch is her name on YouTube. She says all the time that people are saying Hecate is scary, Hecate is a bad person. No, she's not. That's what she says. Sarah, you know her, I know her, you know she's not a nice person. Does she stand for you when you need her? Yes. Was he there for you when you needed a person? Yes. You have to keep all of them. Don't take out something and say, no, that never happened. No, you know it did. But just acknowledge this person is harmful for you. You have to understand that. And when you say tough love, she's tough love, you say it all the time. Love is compassionate. Love can endure everything. Love waits. Love is long-suffering like my father. If love is not any of these things, so why do you even call it love? It's not. It's absolutely not. If it doesn't have these qualities and you say tough love, I know what you are talking about, but you have to acknowledge that this is not love. It's something else. Manipulation, imperfect, evil, jealousy, mistake, but you can't really name it. Whatever you name it, you can't say it's actually love because it's not. People don't behave like that when they love somebody. They show compassion, and you know that he is incapable of doing that, and he needs to sort this out a little bit with his personality. So I'm gonna put now the video. I'm gonna find this. I'm not gonna talk. I'm gonna talk only when I hear something important that I have to correct. Okay, We're not bashing anybody. I like Sarah very, very much. She's a very nice woman. Okay, more power to her. I'm just explaining because I know the deity that she's talking about. I'm explaining bullshit that all of you need to know. You didn't know anything. You have to know these things. So you protect yourself. You have to go back to Yahweh and understand who Yahweh is. That's why I'm making these videos. Okay. So.
Hello everybody.
So I'm gonna skip it because she was talking about her Patreon and all that type of things. So yeah, let's continue here. I'm putting like 2 minutes in the video.
Children she has actually given birth to. You've probably heard of some of them like Circe and Medea, Scylla, the Empusa. Well, there's another, the Lamia. And there are several variants on the Lamia's myth, but the Lamia are either several different women or at least one person who was kind of cursed to change, I believe. Like a lot of these myths go, it's like Medusa's myth, for example.
Mm-hmm.
The original, she and her sisters were always Gorgons. The Romanized version, she is turned into a Gorgon. So there are interchangeable invariants on these myths. But the Lamia, regardless of which myth you go by, they are a half-snake lady, and they are said to be the first vampire in Greek or Hellenic myth. Now, Lilith.
Yeah, she has studied quite a lot in paganism in Greece. She knows her bullshit. What she says is accurate mythologically. So continue.
To be the first vampire as well, depending again on her mythologies that you go by.
Mm-hmm.
So she is intrinsically linked with the serpent, whether you want to say that's good or bad. The serpent from the Garden of Eden, She is said to be queen of vampires because of her link with the succubi and incubi, in that she transmutes energy. She can take energy, and she does teach psychic vampirism. So, with that being the case as well, let me just say, Lilith...
Does she teach psychic vampirism, how she called it? The person that I know is trying to become God. He's trying to mimic Yahweh. I don't think Lilith, would try to do that with any person. I know many people will say that he's transforming as an angel of light. Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. So, teaching somebody how to be a Twilight Bella Edward, my father is laughing, he says accurate. How to be a vampire, I don't think this is how you convince a person that you are actually a deity. And before you say yes, but Sarah believes it, yeah, Sarah believes it. I don't know anybody else. Usually people, when they are trying to find God, they are asking mathematical questions. They are trying to understand logically the universe, and that's why they managed to find Zeus. They don't actually have a woman who is sucking blood saying, oh, that's the creator. No, you don't do that. So, do I believe that she's doing that? He is doing that? No, I don't believe it. I think it's like a fairy tale that pagans said to each other, I suppose.
Herself has always told me she's not the Lilitu. The Lilitu came before the mythology of Lilith.
Okay, so Satan told you that he's not the Lilitu. Okay, who is the Lilitu? Okay, I'm gonna ask Copilot. It's a good machine. It can tell me. Okay, what are the Lilitu? Someone said that Lilith is not the Lilitu. Explain, because I don't know what the Lilitu are. Okay. The Lilitu were Mesopotamian female demons associated with storms, night and sexuality. Lilith, who appears much later in Jewish tradition, is related to but not identical to the Lilith. Lilith's figure was adapted from these Mesopotamian roots, but her role and symbolism shift dramatically in Jewish and later folklore. Okay. So Satan said, she says, I am not the Lilith. I don't know why he would say that if he did, and if Sarah understood what he said. If he did, probably he was trying to tell her because Sarah has a very broad understanding of spirituality that doesn't align with what he teaches. He's collapsing everything to unity, and Sarah is not doing that. She's separating people like their ideas, so that's not something he's doing. Um, and for that reason, I think she doesn't really get what he's talking about. So I would like to hear the full quote, like ask her what exactly you asked, what exactly he answered, so I can give a clear view, a clear understanding of what actually he said. Okay?
They were from Babylonian mythologies. They are lesser demons, you could say. There's a male version and a female version, and they look a bit like harpies, winged night demons. That's what they are. And they were demons that were lesser spirits that resided in the underworld. And the queen of the underworld in that mythology is Ereshkigal. And Ereshkigal, her name is interchangeably used with Hecate, especially in the Greek magical papyri. So, there's a lot of links there, is what I want to say. I'm not calling Lilith herself a Lilith, because I know she doesn't like that. From my experience, anyway, she doesn't. And that was as well said to be a mistranslation, by the way. So, it's not solid evidence that she was one of those things. Still, yeah. With all these parallels in mind, this video
I think what I hear, I think that she doesn't understand something that he told her. I'm saying this from experience. He is a person who collapses everything into unity. So she doesn't understand something. I think if I make a calculation, my father says, can you calculate something? I think he told her, or he tried to tell her, I am not many people, I'm one. My father says, thank you, Helga, for saying this, and bravo. Yeah, because it's serious, it's a very serious thing. He's trying to tell people that he's God. That's serious shit. That's serious shit, okay? You can't say that. You can't really say that. No, 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 no. So, I think this is what he said, but I think it. I didn't hear exactly. If I had Sarah beside me, I would tell her, please tell me exactly what his words were. Because I hear your words, you transferring the knowledge that you have from the spirit to me, but I don't hear exactly the words that the spirit used. So Sarah, I think, because I keep up with her content, she thinks Satan told her that he is not many people. I think he tried to say, that's what I'm saying, I think he tried to say that he is not many deities, he's one deity, his name is to be, as far as I know him, I think this is what he tried to say, but Sarah didn't understand him, and that's not the first time that she doesn't understand him when he's talking. I constantly see that she doesn't understand what he says. But yeah.
for ages. So I thought, right, let's do it with a difference. Something's always been holding me back. I'm going to ask them. I'm going to ask them
Okay.
how they feel. And it's funny that it's like a bird lady, like a variant on the black swan on that card. We're going to be using Tarot de la Nuit. It's a French, I'm sure it's a French version of a tarot that I've got. For some freaking reason I've got a few foreign language tarots, because I don't know if this one's a French one. Actually, it might just be the name of it. Yeah, because all of that's in English. Oh, I've just dropped a card. All of that's in English, but yes, we're going to ask them. And I'm going to pick the card up. So let's get into it.
God is shining a light for these two, our souls. God is shining a light for these two. Our souls are eternally in His.
Sorry about that, we have an advertisement. And I can't skip it. Neither this, fuck my life. Okay, let's skip it.
So if you're interested, go check it out.
Okay, skip it.
Let's ask.
Okay, so she's gonna ask the deities.
I feel like Lilith's here first. Lilith, what's
Okay.
your opinion on this? Are you?
Okay, she feels, I feel Lilith is here. I never feel, I know that he is here or my father is here. My father is a different discussion. I would prefer to leave him out of this video actually. My father says why? Because this video is about Satan and I don't want to mix people with too much info overload. Let's keep one thing at a time. So I don't think that when you say I feel his presence is the same as saying he is here, because usually say he was here and he left. Sarah says I feel. That's what I mean. Okay? So she's gonna ask Lilith, I'm gonna say something here before everything else. Tarot is divination practice. Yeah, that's why her channel is called that, Divination Witch. You don't contact anybody, nor even Satan, let alone my father, through tarot or whatever means of divination. Divination is a practice that, controversial as it sounds, my father, Yahweh, taught me how they read it, not so that I will read the papers. I don't know how to read the sigils, for example. He didn't teach me that. The course was different. He taught me how people perceive everything that is luck, pure luck. They perceive it as divine inspiration, and he showed me how this is done. And I got my question myself resolved, like why are they saying the tarot is correct when Yahweh explicitly in the Bible says they aren't correct ways of accessing him or any spirit, if you ask me. Like even if you ask for the devil, he's not gonna talk to you like this. The Bible is very clear that it's prophecy of the heart when you use divination. So I really wanted to know why, and he solved this question I had inside my heart with this when he showed me like they are taking the papers. This is what he did. I don't know, as I said, I don't know how to read it. Sarah knows textbook how to solve, how to read the tarot. I don't. He taught me, my father taught me the possibilities, that if you have 10 possibilities of how the day is gonna go, the tarot is the thing that will tell you 10 different scenarios and 10 of them are presented, so one of them is gonna happen, and then you're gonna say the tarot told me my future. My father says thank you. So that's not how prophecy works. This is luck. You have 10 different ways of finishing the day, and out of the 10 ways to finish your day, 1 or 2 or 3 of them come into pass. That's pure luck. Even if it is very crazy luck, yeah, there are many people who write 7 random numbers. They bet these numbers, and 6 numbers Together, random numbers give you lottery ticket for $1 million. That's luck. That's not not divination. That's not prophecy. That's luck. You were very lucky and you won money. But that's not how prophecy works. That's divination. That's what I'm saying. Okay?
Let's ask. I feel like Lilith's here first. Lilith, what's your opinion on this? Are you a daughter of Hecate?
Okay.
I might need to rephrase the question. I've got to know, essentially, death.
So, if you ask me, is Lilith the daughter of Hecate? No. They are the same person. They are to be. Why she took a no? Is it the same reason that I took a no? No. No, 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 no. She took a no because she randomly took a card that meant no. If you've watched her video till the end, you will see that towards the end, she says, I took a yes before, now I took a no. She's as crazed what exactly Lilith is telling her as you are. Why? Because Lilith is not talking to her through the cards. He is a human person, just invincible. He's not a deity. He pretends to be a deity. What does this mean for you? It means that when you contact him, he doesn't know anything to tell you. All smoke and mirrors. Okay? And as far as the cards are concerned, she took a no. I could say she took a no from Zeus. That she took a no from Zeus and say that I have my theory proven and it would make my job easier. But I didn't say that. Why I didn't say that? Because you don't access spirits through this means. You can't. It's pointless. It's even written in the Bible. I would make my job a lot easier if I said that Sarah took the correct answer and Hecate is to be with Lilith. But I don't do it. Why? Because that's not the point. The point is you have to understand that tarot aren't working. If I say yes, she took no through the tarot, Satan is to be, you're gonna go home and think that Helga the prophet told you tarot works. And I'm not gonna do that for anything in this world. I'm not gonna do that. Okay? I have to be truthful. The tarot aren't working. Even if you have a no, and later you will see she says yes, she took a yes in the tarot from Hecate, that Lilith is her daughter, and Lilith says no, she's not my mother. That's not spirit talking, that's not Satan talking, that's Sarah reading the cards and saying stuff from her head. It's not something that Hecate is telling her or Lilith. Okay?
Which is no, in a yes and no context. How beautiful is that card, by the way? No, Queen of Wands reversed is a no as well. Strength reversed is a no. Emperor reversed is a no. And I feel like, well, they're all no's in yes and no, and I feel like she's saying, rephrase that question. It's not, I am not her daughter, meaning literally, so that makes sense. She is not my mother. Okay. Is your energy a daughter of Hecate, or oh, okay, 8 of Wands. What I was gonna say before that card came out was in my mind in a way that people say Lucifer is. You get me? Oh, okay, yes. In a way that Lucifer is, yes. I always knew they shared a similar. Oh my gosh, one of the cards as well. Sorry. Two of Cups. Look at this Two of Cups. One of the cards. It's like Hecate and Lilith on the card. Thumbnail time. Oh.
Look here, something that she's doing.
Two of Cups. One of the cards. It's like Hecate and Lilith on the card. Thumbnail time. Oh.
So that's quite a coincidence, isn't it? No, it's not from the devil. Don't see him in places he's not. No, he didn't do anything. Sarah is saying this alone. She made the connection that they look like it. Yeah, the resemblance that, like, she's talking about Hecate and Lilith, and she took a paper that has two women on it. Of course she's gonna think that's Hecate, that's Lilith, but it's random. That's not spirit talk. Not even Satan is talking like that. Why? Because spirits have a very specific, like, distinguished, is that the word, way of talking themselves. And that's not the way that they talk. Sarah, because she is doing divination, this is the standard divination process. Because she's doing divination, she sees something that resembles and she takes it for, like, prophecy, when it's not. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, the imagery, Yeah, so she's saying, yes, 8 of Wands, 4 of Wands, yes, 2 of Cups, yes, and then I got 7 of Wands reversed. And that would be like, there's a new Wands to it, I feel. So 8 of Wands, it's swift action is what it means. So yes, definitely, they have a lot in common. 4 of Wands is community, friendship, coming together, celebrations. 2 of Cups is relationship and love there. Now, I'm not saying they're in love with each other or anything like that. I'm saying that there is a mutual respect between them. So there is
I can't go upstairs and now it's driving me crazy. Okay.
connection, mutual respect between them. But there's nuance to it, so it's not a case of Lilith literally being her daughter, and it's not like in the myths as well, where, say Circe is said to be Hecate's daughter, for example, or Medea, because they're sorceresses. It's not like that. It's in the Lucifer context of Lucifer is phosphorus, Hecate is phosphorus. So there's aspects of Hecate that link with Lilith.
I'm gonna skip it a little bit. I'm gonna put it later when she talks. I'm gonna analyze it and then I'm gonna go to bed. I'm very tired and I'm tired to play as well. Okay.
Thank you, Lilith. Is there anything else you want to say on the matter?
Okay, let's see. Did he talk? I don't remember that.
She's reiterating what I've just said, yes.
Okay.
Caring too much about what other people think about you, about your path, about your spirituality is only going to break your heart. Because you're always going to be wanting some sort of approval and you're never going to have it. Not really, not 100%. And this is something I'm personally learning as well. It hurts your feelings. It hurt my feelings when I was first doing YouTube and realised, shit, people are dicks sometimes. Like, I always kind of knew that, being in public facing jobs in the past and things like this. But not everyone's going to like you, right? When you're a kind person, you want to try and, I don't know, be liked, I suppose. But so what? you know, not everyone's going to like you. You have to live your life, basically. So she is saying to not worry about what other people think so much, because if you do, it will serve to hurt you. So we've got Ten of Wands reversed, that is releasing burdens. We've got the Three of Swords, which is heartbreak, and we've got the King of Swords reversed, and this is people having their opinions. You can be the nicest person in the world and they'll still not like you, and that's something I learned. So yeah, to her, yeah, okay, in the same way Lucifer is, yeah, they're all linked. You could class her, I suppose, in that regard as like a daughter energy in a way, but she's not literally our daughter, and she don't really care what you think. Very Lilith. I love you, Lilith. Thank you so much for answering that. Now I am going to ask Hecate her opinion on this as well, because I suppose
Lilith said she doesn't care what you think. No, no, he cares a lot what you think about him. He cares a lot. And it depends what type of person he has beside him. If you are a sensitive person, he's gonna guilt trip you like he has done with me in the past. He is always using that with me because deep down he knows I'm not gonna upset him knowingly. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Like even though he is who he is, he knows that I am a nice person, I am a soft person, I forgive easily, and he knows if he steps in my kindness, he can manipulate me. So it really depends, that's what I mean, it really depends what type of person you have beside you. If this person is usually like proud, or if the person is usually shy and he treats them accordingly like a human person, of course, but if you ask me, does he care if they call him names? More than you think. He cares way too much, that's what I would say.
there you see, I'm seeing her
I don't
more
like this remake.
as a face of the creator. So like a lot of cultures, a lot of mythologies, a lot of theologies have a creator deity that is female, and I'm seeing Hecate as that. If you look up the Chaldean, I can't say it right, oracles, that is one such philosophy that names Hecate as the creator. Others could say Sophia, or Durga, or Chaos, or Tiamat, or, you know, mother energies. But in Gnosticism, this is something I am down a rabbit hole about. There is a divine feminine deity, not Sophia, that came before Sophia, who is the first face of the creator, that you could say, that birthed the aeons, which is all the gods, basically. And I'm seeing Hecate as that, to be quite truthful.
Yeah, you
So
see her like that, Sarah, because this is what she taught you. This is what he taught you. He taught you he is to be. You just don't understand what I say. I don't understand why though. You don't understand because it makes perfect sense to me. But this is what he taught you. He taught you that he is God of the universe and he is to be. And you get the vibe, like you say, she's the mother of everything. He taught you to see him like that. You just don't understand the full vibe. You have this issue. I'm gonna break this, I don't like it.
therefore, she could be mother to many things. Alright. Switching the tarot decks over. I'm just using this is one of my everyday ones. I've used it before on these videos. It's a Rider-Waite holographic version. I've had it years. Started using it. I like to use things up in general. I just feel like she wants me to use it.
a simple search on Get Your Guide. Explore new places and local culture with expert guides.
Like,
Find unique
she's
experiences
shuffling the
and feel
tarot, and I can't move it because I have like these advertisements, and yeah, I hate it. Okay, let's.
Child, meaning literally everybody. This
Okay,
is
she
God,
talks.
like what's her opinion and stuff. Oopsie.
Okay.
Yes, again, yes, but there's nuances to it again. So I could hear her say everybody is my daughter or my son or my child.
Okay.
Meaning literally everybody. This is why, despite all the fear mongering in her name, she doesn't care so much. She isn't.
Sarah, she didn't say this. So let's hear it again. Let's hear it again. I can explain to you. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. So her question, Sarah's question is, are you the mother of Lilith? And what did he answer?
Yes, again, yes, but there's nuances to it again. So I could hear her say everybody is my daughter or my son or my child. Meaning
Okay.
literally everybody.
Yeah, she says she is to be. This is what she says. She says, I am the creator. This is what she tells you. And for some reason, even though you say she's the mother of everything, you don't understand what she says. And now you say, despite the fear mongering, she is still mother. No, she didn't say that. She did. That's yours, Sarah. She didn't say this herself. She said that she is to be, because you asked her if she has daughter herself, and she says, in conclusion, she says, no, I am the mother of everything. I'm not the mother of myself. I'm the mother of everything. I'm the creator. This is what she said. That's what he answered you, and you don't understand his speech, pretty much. That's the problem. But that's he said. He didn't say, despite the fear mongering, he's still mother. He wouldn't say that. He doesn't speak like that. You have to acknowledge it to yourself that he doesn't speak like that. He has a very distinct way of talking to you when he does. He's very sharp. He's a very clever person. He's sharp. He uses sarcasm, irony, half truths. He's quite passionate about his identity and who he is. He doesn't care too much what others say about you. Yeah, he will empower you and say don't give a shit, as you said, not with his words. He will do that, but he doesn't do it as you describe Hecate to do it, actually. Okay?
This is why, despite all the fear mongering in her name, she doesn't care so much. She isn't like this. I don't mean this offensively to Lilith or anything, but Lilith's so fiery. She doesn't care either, like, but she's so fiery. And Hecate, yeah, she's got vengeful aspects and things like that, but on the whole, she just kind of doesn't care. It like rises above it, as in no reaction at all. That's what I mean.
Sarah, can I tell you something? Because I hear you saying she doesn't care, she rises above it. I know what you're talking about. You say that he doesn't care. He's very passionate. I can't pronounce this. He's very passionate about who he is. He wants you to understand fully who he is. He's very passionate about it. But you just said, she doesn't care, she rises above everything. And I question you something very serious, very important, okay? Something that if you take it seriously will change your life forever, I think. Okay? You say all the time people spread fear in the name of Hecate, but she rises above everything. She doesn't give a shit. Okay, fair enough. She is a deity after all. This is what you say. She's a deity, so obviously she should rise above it. I'm saying to you, she cares quite a lot if you don't think she's a deity. Personally speaking, as a person who knows this person myself, he gives a shit. He gives a shit. So let's say he doesn't give a shit for a moment. Okay, fair enough. He doesn't. Sarah, why are you discussing? That's my question. Why are you discussing? My father says thank you. Why are you discussing if a deity can rise above criticism? Sarah will tell you like a woman who watches your channel. Do I care if Hecate rises above her haters? I don't give a shit, Sarah. I have problems myself and I would expect the deity to help me. Not tell me that they speak bad about me, but I rise above it. I don't give a goddamn shit about that. If she is my mother, as you say, then she should do something to resemble a mother. So if somebody mistreats me, because Jesus says this, for example, in the Gospels, he says that if they treat you badly, it's because they treated me badly. So you have a deity there. You have a deity saying, I know they treat me badly, but I think that they will treat badly you, and that's what hurts me. That's what my father says. That's the heart of my father. So, do I care if she doesn't care? I don't. And why I say it? I care a lot about Satan because he could do miracles, wonders with the talents that he has. Like we know him, we understand what I'm talking about. He is a very gifted person from my father Yahweh, and he could use his talents for my father, and he chose to do bullshit with these gifts that my father gifted him. And it is very sad, because this is also how I feel about Plato, that he had full potential, he was such a gifted person, and he gave all his talents for the devil. And something inside of you says, why should it be this way? I hate it that it is this way. I wish it wasn't. I have compassion, as I said, about Satan, yes, because even my father has compassion for him. In Isaiah chapter 15, 14, 16, 17, I don't remember exactly which, he says, how you fell, Lucifer, from the sky. You were a cherub, how you call it, cherub. I will bring you down to the earth. They will say, is this the man that was commanding and rousing people in battlefield? Yes, he used to be that person, but he's not anymore. My father took everything from him, and his vanity and everything. So my sorrow for this person is something that my father also has for him. It's not something I only have myself. That's what I'm saying. So, to recapitulate, we speak about Hecate if she rises above criticism. I don't give a shit because she's a deity. Sarah, you say she is a deity. Yeah. So why should I care that a deity can rise above criticism? That deity is not dieting. My father is laughing. He says I came to sit with the youth. My God. He says yes, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We have people on the internet saying God doesn't care if you mock him. Do you look like we care? No. We want to see God caring about our afflictions, our problems. Not if he is the best himself. We don't give a shit about that. And for a good reason. You shouldn't care. If it is a deity, it has to behave like a deity. I'm not gonna reward a person for behaving as something they claim to be to me. Or they should stop. And they should stop pretending they are a deity if they can't. Of course she doesn't care. Me neither. If Hecate doesn't care that people mock her, so do I. Because she's a deity, she says. So, if she's a deity, why does she discuss that she doesn't care if people mock her? Doesn't sound like a deity to me. Sounds like a human trying to pose as a deity. And I repeat, is this a hate section for Satan? No, it's not. I'm correcting in love and kindness his bullshit. That's what I'm doing.
Reaction at all. That's what I mean. I know Lilith doesn't care either, but Hecate doesn't have a reaction at all, sort of thing. But given what I've just explained and how I see her and how she is getting me to learn about her now as being the creator, then yes, in that regard, Lilith is her daughter as much as I'm her daughter, or you watching could be her daughter or son, you know. But it doesn't mean literal. She loves us all, and yes, she has immense respect for Lilith. I know that. There was this rhetoric that went around and still does that Lilith and Hecate don't get along. You can't work with them both at the same time. All this stuff. That's so untrue. I've worked with them both at the same time for many years. The candles are right next to each other.
Because they are the same person. Sarah, you said it yourself. You said Hecate sent you to work with Lilith. Sarah, think it critically. You have a very good working brain in your head. You say that a person who says they are a deity came to you and told you worship another deity. Before you say I have a Christian understanding, I want you to have logic. Why? Because Satan is a very logical person. He's the best mathematician you will ever meet in your lifetime. Okay. In what possible universe a deity comes to you and says worship another deity? Nobody. No, that's not something you find in the Bible. If you say this is Bible, maybe it sounds like a Bible. I'm speaking normally. If you are a deity, you have an idea about a deity in your head. Somebody who wants to be worshipped. Let's put it like that. They are a deity, they have to be worshipped. That's why it's called a deity and it's not called a pumpkin, for example. A pumpkin has only one role, to be in the ground and then take it out and carve it for Halloween. My father says I loved this metaphor. That's what I mean. Thanks, Dad. My father is laughing. So if the deity doesn't exhibit this and exhibits something human, as I said before, I am Hecate, I want you to worship Lilith, something is wrong. You have to figure out what exactly he said, because I understand his speech. He says he is to be, and for some reason you don't understand him when he talks. Even though he's your God, you don't understand him. He doesn't say what you think he says. He says something very different and very specific. He says that he is to be. No normal person, let's say me. You say, Sarah, you say all the time that deities are flawed and they change over time. Okay, so they are like humans. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You said it, I'm not saying it. You say it all the time in your videos. So if Hecate is correcting herself along the way as she goes, okay, if she really does that, then if I say I have a partner and I don't want my partner to have sex with anybody apart from me, that's jealousy, human behavior. If I have this and the deity is also human and it admits that it is a human and it is flawed, won't it have the same reaction? Because you say gods don't care, but you also say in your videos all the time that gods have flaws and they change and they can become better with time like people. Okay, so the deity can actually care about their self-image and their self-worship if they are worshipped enough by people. So do you believe a human would say go and date this person even though they are in the relationship? No, it's very rare. So what is happening? Hecate is telling you she's Lilith in the spirit dialect and you don't understand her.
Right next to each other, like, they do not give a rat's ass. Lilith, she doesn't like being put below anybody else.
Okay,
And
so
that's in general.
So she doesn't like being put below anybody else. Okay, so this person, Hecate, told you work with Lilith. And you go to Lilith and Lilith says don't put me below anybody else. Sarah, in all your videos you say Hecate is my mother. You love Lilith. But you say all the time Hecate is my mother. If Hecate is your mother, then how on earth is Lilith at the same level as Hecate? But you always talk more about Hecate. You always talk more about Hecate, and it is evident that you appreciate her more than you appreciate Lilith. I'm not saying about your heart, I'm saying if I listen to you as a human, it is evident that you prefer Hecate as a person and you have her higher. And if you ask me as a person who grew up with spirits, it is even more evident that you favor Hecate because the way you talk about her is the way a Christian talks about Yahweh. So you went to a woman named Hecate, she told you work with Lilith, and Lilith says don't put me below anybody else. Doesn't this make sense? It's the same person. He just manifested to you in a different manner, probably. Probably that's what happened.
And that's not just because of her myth. That's something I did learn in my early days with working with her and Hecate, is I subconsciously was putting her on the back burner in a way.
You do.
She's like that.
You do. I'm telling you as a person who watches your channel and as a person who cares about you, I care about you very much. That's why it's one of the reasons that I watch you. You put her below Hecate. You do that. So Sarah, I'm not telling you go and fix your shit. No, I'm asking you a very serious question. You have to ask yourself, with whom am I working all these years? Like, why is he telling you, don't put me below anybody else? You do it. You admit you have done it. And still the other woman told you go and work with her. If you say this is how paganism works, are you sure what you say makes sense? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. It is evident, it's not like a Christian fairy tale, it's evident you are talking with somebody who is catfishing you about who he is. And that's crazy. Why? Because Sarah, as I told you, he told me his name is Yahweh. He appeared as Yahweh to me. He appeared to you as Hecate. Sarah, I'm gonna be specific like always. Like I always am. With who the fuck are you talking? Have you ever sat down seriously to think, who the fuck is the person who tells me I am Hecate? Why did he lie the first time? Maybe he does it again. If he lied one time, he's gonna do it again. And that comes from a person who knows Satan very deeply. He has told me the most astonishing lies you can ever fathom a person can say to another person. The lies he has told me are astronomical. He came and told me my ex is gay. He didn't use exactly these words, but that was the meaning. He called out my ex for being a gay, and he told me stay away from him, he's gay. And I told this with my dad, and we laughed because it's funny. I have no problem with the guy. I told earlier I forgive him for the bullshit that he has done in my life. But I have to address something here, very serious thing. Who the fuck is this person who tells me he's Yahweh and then he comes to Sarah and says, I am Lilith? Is it funny? I think it's very funny. I laugh sometimes with him. Like, with what he's doing, I laugh. But if you love him seriously, Sarah, that's the message today. If you love him seriously, you have to refrain from having a relationship with him actively and say to him in your heart or directly, look, you lied to me systematically. I keep you in my heart. You are a person who taught me great values in my life. I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna keep our good memories, but until you decide to start saying the truth to me, I don't wanna have a connection with you because you are toxic and you are damaging me and you are hurting me, and you have to understand that you are hurting people that care about you for selfish reasons. Helgar, you're gonna say this to Satan, I'm gonna say this to everybody. To anybody, I'm gonna say this. When you have somebody that cares about you, you don't treat them like that. Okay?
Okay? As long as you treat them both equally, equal respect, there is no issue. I call them both my mother, in a way. Hecate, I do feel more nurturing motherly energy. Not to say that Lilith can't be nurturing.
Sarah, you feel obliged to call out also Lilith and say she's also a motherly energy because she pressured you to do this. I'm not saying Lilith isn't. You said it. I prefer the one that gives me more motherly energy. You said it yourself. That's why you like Hecate, because she reminds you of a mother you, according to your own words, you didn't have a mother. So obviously you have a fondness for Hecate you can't feel with Lilith, because as you said, Lilith in the myth is fiery. And the person that you see as Lilith is not that. It's not a nurturing mother. And that's why you need a mother. I'm gonna close it.
Well, she can be. She has nurtured me as well, if I'm honest. I just see them both as that, but in different ways. Like, Hecate is this more primordial, maybe, energy, and Lilith, to to me anyways. I don't know, not as primordial maybe, I don't know. They are pretty primordial. I think I'm digging a hole for myself here.
You are not digging a hole. He is an old person. He's old anyways. I don't know exactly how old he is. He's old, but he's a spirit. So what you feel is his spirit essence. That's understandable. We can't blame him for that because he's a spirit at the end of the day. But no, he doesn't give a shit about you. You have to acknowledge that to yourself first. He doesn't care. Because you say you acknowledge Lilith. Why? Not because you want to say she is a motherly energy. You do it because she said don't put me against second best to anybody. And then Sarah, you say to another video, Yahweh is doing that in the Bible. Are you serious? Yahweh is doing that in the Bible. I can see that Lilith is doing what Yahweh you says in the Bible. No, my father doesn't say that in the Bible. He means don't go behind other deities because they want to harm you. They don't want to bless you. You don't need to go to them. Come to me. That's what Yahweh says. Okay? And I don't call him main deity because I'm not a pagan. But when I'm talking with pagans online, I say my main deity, my patron deity, I say is Yahweh. And I say this because I respect them and I don't want them to feel excluded because I am a Christian. Okay? But he never pressured me to say that he's my patron deity, that he is my father deity, or he's anything, that he's the true deity. He never does that. The only thing he cares is that I am happy, that I sleep. If I need anything from him, to go and ask him directly. He is the most easygoing person you will ever meet, and no Lilith can match that. And if you say this is my understanding, no, it's not my understanding. That's a reality. I grew up with both of them. I keep the good ones from the other guy, even though I shouldn't, practically speaking, but I still do it because that's who I am. Okay.
Only making it worse for yourself. I just love them both. I really do. And yes, when it comes to Hecate, you've got a yes, King of Cups, and that's all about love as well. And that's where I got, well, everyone's my child, you know. Six of Wands means a yes and victory. It means coming out on top. She's got immense respect for Lilith, so much so. The Magician is a yes, and she recognises just how powerful Lilith is and how important she is as well. But then we've got Lovers reversed, and we have Temperance reversed, which...
Now I'm gonna make the usual Christian commentary. Sarah, you say she is important, right? Why she is important? What has Lilith done to deserve the she is important role that you are giving her? Nothing. Did she set people free from Egypt? No. Did she split the Red Sea into two? No. What does she have done so she deserves to say she's so important? For what reason she's important? That's not something I say to call out Sarah or anybody. I'm saying this to explain how critical thinking should be working. The song Mary Did You Know, it's not a standard like, okay, let's praise Jesus because we have nothing else to do because it's Christmas. Mary Did You Know. Let's hear all the lyrics because Sarah says Lilith is important. Mary Did You Know, let's read it. Whenever I hear the song I cry, but anyways. So it says, it's talking to the Virgin Mary, right? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one way walk on water? That's divinity. You say Sarah she's important for what reason? What reason she's important? I'm not asking if Satan as a person is important. Everybody has importance. For my father didn't destroy him. He's letting him on the loose. That means something. What? Not that he likes us to suffer, but he cares about him too as a father. My father says thank you for saying this about me. That's the truth. That's why I say it. People say, why didn't God destroy Satan in the garden? Because if he did, he would be Satan. My father is laughing. If he destroyed Satan in the garden, he would be Satan himself. He wouldn't be Yahweh. That's not who Yahweh is. He doesn't destroy. He doesn't take a hammer to destroy the dwarves in Lord of the Rings. In Silmarillion, as Tolkien put Aule to do with the dwarves when he created them. And then you have this ridiculous character by Tolkien, Eru Ilúvatar, saying, I'm gonna put an animosity. Animosity, is that a word? Hold on a second. English is not my first language. Where is it? Animosity. Yeah, that's correct word. Yeah, he said that he would put this, and for some reason Tolkien's fans are like, that's cool. No, it's not cool. You say God is gonna put an enemy feeling between people. What type of deity is this? What type of deity is this? Why did Tolkien create such a deity? My father is laughing. What does this mean for a person like Tolkien? Does this mean that Tolkien has in his heart more Hecate than he has actually Yahweh, even though he was a Roman Catholic? That's what I mean. This is where the inspiration for the other Jesus dissertation that I wrote came from. Okay, and then we have, Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? That's up to you to believe it. But even if you don't believe it, accept it that Jesus didn't have to die. He was innocent. The things that they accused him of doing, he didn't do them. His story is a good example of why the capital punishment is a bad thing, okay? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you know the child you delivered will soon deliver you? That's up to you to believe it. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? That's important. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm the storm with his hand? Mary, did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Why this is important? You tell me about a deity, Sarah, that says to you, don't put me below, Hecate. And I have here you saying, I have Mary saying, I kiss a baby in my arms. This baby is actually God. Can you put that inside your head and say it's the same thing? It's the same thing? No, it's not. No, it's not. Then you have, the blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again, the lame will leap, the dumb will speak the praises of the Lamb. That's up to you to believe it. Again, Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? That sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. That means Yahweh there. That sleeping child you're holding is the great Yahweh. Why I have this emotion right now? Because I'm standing here with kindness in my heart. I have no issues with Satan, personally speaking. He can have whatever he wants with me. I care about him still. I'm sitting here and I'm discussing seriously about Lilith. when we can discuss about Yahweh and why I do it. Because I am not like the other Christians. I'm not like the other Christians saying only evil stuff about somebody they don't associate themselves with anymore. The Christians do it all the time. I was a Satanist, I left, now I'm gonna expose the crap out of Satan. I don't wanna be that type of Christian myself. I don't, that's why I'm not. I'm gonna say that it went very bad with him, but I'm grateful still. I'm happy I met him, and I hope in my heart one day he will understand his bullshit and we can be good friends, because I think one day he will understand that when he thought, I'm speaking about him, when he thought I left him, my father says all the time that the reason my degree was destroyed was because Satan said she left me. Yeah, I did, but I didn't leave him as a person, I left him as God. I don't worship him. That's different than saying like I left him. No, I'm not leaving anybody. I'm not such a person. I won't do it with anybody. I'm not gonna do it ever with anybody. I didn't leave him as a person. I left what he wanted to be in my life. He wanted to be my God, and I didn't want him as a God. But as a brother, as a friend, he can totally be my friend. He can totally be my brother. I have no problem with him. But I don't want him to worship him. That's the difference. My father says thank you for saying that. That's the difference for me. And that's why I'm not coming out and saying he's this, he's that. Yes, I had hatred in my heart for him. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now I'm saying I am happy I met him. I do hope one day he will repent and we can actually have a healthy relationship with him that will actually have a reason to exist as a relationship, because having a relationship built in a lie that he's God and me pretending I'm worshipping him pretty much, because I never did that. My allegiance was always with my father Yahweh. Okay, that's not a relationship, that's a circus. That's a fucking circus, that's not a relationship. I don't wanna be a clown with anybody in my life. I'm not gonna do it, not even with Satan. That's what I mean. For me, I was living a lie. I would be living a lie if I said I wanna stay with him when I'm not worshipping him and I worship another deity in my heart. That's the fair point. But as a person to befriend, no problem. I have no problem with that. I have absolutely no problem. If somebody else has, that's their problem too. Mine is this, them is that. But I don't mind that. I mind a person wanting me to worship them. If Ze blocks you on YouTube, on Facebook, then I am Yahweh. No bestie. Goodbye for now. When you will repent for your bullshit, we're gonna discuss again some stuff, you and I, face to face. But until then, no, I'm not gonna live a lie, because you wanna live a lie yourself. You can't force me to live your lie. That's what I mean. That's healthy. That's healthy part, okay, in the relationship. So I'm gonna finish the video here. I'm very tired. We have a little bit more with Sarah, but my camera is dying. Hope you enjoyed this session. We don't have, I think, anything else to say. If I see that she has anything else to say, maybe we can do it tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this alternative teaching about Satan. I'm gonna title this as a little bit of Minecraft and an alternative, ambivalent maybe, teaching about Satan. Hope this helped you use anybody. See my perspective. You don't have to be an ex-Satanist, an ex-pagan, an ex-New Ager, new ex Buddhist, whatever, and now you are a Christian and start saying bullshit about Satan. No, don't bullshit him, because this is what he does. He's accusing people. If you accuse him, you mimic his behavior. You are an accuser yourself as well. So why do you tell me you now worship Yahweh when you are actually actively worshipping Satan with your mouth, when you say I condemn him, I want him to die, I want this and that? That's what he says about everybody. So why are you saying this about him? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say bless you, hope you repent. When you do that, come back to me, feel free to befriend me. But until then, leave me worship the true God of the universe, because that's not you. You wanna live a lie, I'm not gonna live the lie with you, because you wanna live it yourself. Live it yourself, acknowledge the bullshit that you have done in yourself. When you fix your bullshit with my father, I'm okay to have a coffee and hang around with you. That's my teaching myself as a Christian. I'm never gonna do the preaching that my colleagues are doing, exposing the devil with capital letters. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say bless you, thanks for everything you gave me, and thanks for everything you didn't give me, for all of them. When you repent, contact me again. You have my phone, pretty much. That goes for my ex as well. When you repent, when you fix your bullshit like Satan, you can both contact me at the same time. We can do a group video chat with both of you. I have no problems. But first, repent. That's my message for today. So, hope you enjoyed my sleepy video. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye for my dad as well.